The idea of passionately pursuing wisdom, being willing to accept whatever you find there, it's actually saved my life a couple times. How many times have you heard someone say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder? Or right and wrong are different depending on where you live or what your society is. Those are just like little examples of how philosophy is kind of everywhere. And it's usually bad philosophy. It's like the air we breathe, we don't even notice it. It'd be like a fish swimming around and thinking to itself like, this is water. And so one of the things about studying philosophy is you get to pick up those pieces that you've just been breathing in, just collecting, and then actually sort them together and understand where they come from and which ones might not be worth holding on to. Since philosophy deals with wisdom and the life of the mind, those things can be a source of joy and beauty and happiness, and not just a matter of like reading books or writing papers, but thinking through things and trying to understand them is itself something that's beautiful and good and like makes a life worth living.
History gives you the particular, and philosophy often gives you the general. But what drew me to literature is that you sort of get both. I find the social sciences are too driven by statistics, too much about people being products of their environment, whereas the humanities talk about human beings as having will, having choice. I know what I'm made of, but what I am is something different than the sum of my parts. Someone like Shakespeare is not just a product of Elizabethan politics. He was able to tap on beautiful things that transcend his time and space. What can we learn from Shakespeare that will improve us as people? That's going to put you in good stead, whether you're a teacher or working in an office. There's been a great conversation going on for 3,000 years, and it goes all the way to today. Once you've read a little Plato and things like that, you can actually join and add your voice to that and see what has been concerning humanity for 3,000 years. These are not people who are just of an age, but they're for all time.
Sometimes people tell you that finding answers are hard. The truth is, it's a lot harder to find a good question. Most people have heard about the Battle of Marathon. When Athens realized that they needed some help, they sent a runner to run all the way from Athens to Sparta. It's about 125 miles. When he got there, the Spartans said they weren't going to go help. Why is it like this? What kind of world creates this kind of event where a guy's going to run 125 miles to ask for help? That's the bigger way in which the world can change, in which people start asking the right kinds of questions. The way you find the right questions is you have to be curious about the world, because really what as humans we're after truth. We ground that in the person of Jesus Christ, and if that's the way you want to pursue your discipline, then I think Houston Baptist University is a great place to do that. Research skills are exactly the kinds of things that employers are looking for out in the job market, because unless we communicate our answers to the world, then the world is not going to benefit. You're going to come to realize the world has always had a lot of problems. And if you study history and find out just how terrible things were once upon a time, then you might actually feel better about where you are.
My goal is to transform the mental processes of young people. We have to have doctors when we're sick, but to maintain a free society, you've got to have skilled attorneys to do that, because there are always going to be people who want to exert their power over their peers or try to obtain political power at the cost of rights of others. And it's the lawyers who protect the individuals in society from these abuses. And without ethical, skilled lawyers, those rights will be lost. In trying to guide people not just to learn facts and figures and dates, but also understand what motivates human beings, what our shortcomings are, and how to protect ourselves from ourselves. That's what law school is really all about. The other thing I always tell my students, don't worry about money and don't worry about fame, whatever it is that motivates you to do this. Worry about being excellent. If you develop yourself to a level of excellence, the world will find its way to you.